guys, so let's talk about something real quickly, okay? Because this thing is happening all over again where people are either frustrating themselves on the market or they are fear-mongering. So we've seen this run up that's been happening with silver and gold. And I've had a ton of people in my trading community ask me, some of them are like, I'm stuck holding the bag, or I bought a couple of shares of GLD or SLD. If you're not familiar with where to invest in silver or gold outside of like the futures market, then you can invest in iShares that track silver and gold on the stock market and the option trading side of things. Rallies are happening, okay? And we're seeing this massive pullback on gold and silver. And the first thing you're seeing across social media is that silver is crashing, gold is crashing, Bitcoin is crashing, all of crypto is crashing, the dollar is crashing. Silver and gold has been on a massive, massive run. When there's uncertainty in the market, when we're talking about tariff wars, trade wars, all of these things that we've been seeing happening since Trump got back into office, corrections are bound to happen. Now, if something goes from $5,000 to $500, that's a crash. But going from like 5,000 and coming back down from these massive gap ups, filling gaps, getting back to fair value, trying to find its footing. These things are not crashes, these are corrections. And these are usually the best time to either invest or to average down, depending on what the asset is. These are not exactly crashing. Like we've seen stock market crashes, we've seen a stock crash, but a crash and a correction are two different things. But the biggest problem is that you guys keep going to the top and investing. Same thing was happening with Bitcoin. When all-time highs were hitting, I said, look, stop getting in at the top. Let the pullback happen. I have called $98,000 on Bitcoin so many times when it hit an all-new high of this ago. I said if it gets below 98, we hit 80, and then we were probably going to come to 75. And they was like, oh, well, that's going to be a crash, and if it goes that far down, then it's done for. Not exactly, but to be honest with you, I'm not one of them people who care about Bitcoin hitting 120K and dropping to 75. I bought my first two coins when they were $3,200. Those things have literally been paying my bills for years, because the best thing about investing in like crypto or in a stock is when you don't need the money, like you don't have to touch it. You just let it do whatever you want, whatever it does. But from $3,200 to where this thing's been now, pinching off of it, I never look at something like a crash or a crypto is done for. The main people who look at it that way is the ones who's getting in at the top. Stop getting in at the top. You have to let stuff pull back. People wait for rallies. People wait for people to get to talk about it on social media and say, now I'm finna jump in. That is the absolute worst way to invest, okay? I believe you should invest in Bitcoin and silver and gold or anything that's being said to be crashing. Absolutely, but you have to understand when to do so that you're not caught holding a bag and then this thing comes all the way down because you got in the wrong position. If you don't understand why something is rallying, if you don't understand the fundamentals behind why something is even priced at what it's priced at, you probably should leave it alone until you get a full understanding of it, because you will be frustrating yourself and then you're going to get on social media fear-mongering because you are in a bad position with it. And now you're kind of telling people not to invest it or leave it alone, or you should have left it alone. But the truth is, yeah, you're absolutely right. You should have left it alone. Before I close this thing out, I'm done fussing. Look, I have my 9-week program. If you are interested in learning how to trade, or if you're learning to invest and actually get an understanding of things, you can find a link somewhere around here and we can actually get to work on this thing, because look, we're in the best time possible to even learn how to trade, learn how to invest, and understand one of the biggest financial vehicles that there is. But frustrating yourself is going to be the absolute worst thing you can do when you should be learning versus hopping in and hopping on bandwagons, because the bandwagons is what leaves you with the bad.